Hi, I'm Jacori, and this is Not a Drill. The first 3 episodes of The Witcher on Netflix has provided a background for all 3 of our triad of characters. Geralt and Ciri were the focus of episode 1, and Yennefer was a heavier focus in episodes 2 and 3 than Ciri. From this point forward, though, the series will show more balance as the triad moves closer together. I'm going to be honest with you, most of the rest of the season you could watch without any of these videos that I'm producing. You can probably piece the details together on your own. I will continue these videos, but my emphasis will be brief and focused on just the details that may be easy to miss from episode to episode. Those details that could potentially leave you scratching your head. I have a few things to prepare you for episode 4, so let's get right into it.
Number 1. The timelines start to merge. Did you find all the timeline clues in episode 3? Here are some of the more obvious ones. 1. The Brotherhood and Yennefer both speak of the overt sexual advances of a young King Fergus of Nilfgaard. And the miners in Geralt's story speak of a usurper who overthrows a king in Nilfgaard whose description matches what the Brotherhood says about Fergus. We can assume that's the same guy. 2. The mages from the Brotherhood of Sorcerers mention Calanthe as the daughter of the King of Sentra, and we know she's the future queen. It's clear that the Brotherhood see both Calanthe and her father as a difficult challenge for their politics. 3. Triss sees a portrait of Foltest and Ada as children during Geralt's story, and those same children in the portrait are seen live with their mother at the party at Aretuza. Their mother even calls Foltest by name. So, to sum up what we know so far about the timelines, across 3 episodes, only a few days have passed for Ciri, and some unknown period has passed for Geralt and Yennefer separately. Geralt's encounter with Renfri and Blaviken was long enough before Sentra fell in Ciri's story that Calanthe had gone from being a young woman winning her first battle to a queen and grandmother to Ciri. Yennefer's ascension at Aretuza is about 30 or 40 years before Geralt fights the Striga in Temeria, based on Foltest's age in each timeline. So far, all of Geralt's story has been between Yennefer's and Ciri's stories, with no overlaps in time. That will change by episode 5. From this point forward, the time differences between the stories will be a bit more obvious. However, I'll review before each episode so you're clear on how the timelines are merging. Number 2. Ciri's help in the woods. In episodes 2 and 3, Ciri is assisted in the woods by a young male who appears to be around her same age. We learn later that he's an elf named Dara. In episode 4, Ciri and Dara encounter another group called the Dryads. The Dryads live in Brokilon Forest, which is nestled in an area north of Sentra. The Dryads have a special reverence for a water source in the forest, which you'll hear them speak about during the episode. Number 3. Reality bites. Ciri gets a reality check from Dara during episode 4. Ciri has been a sheltered princess in Sentra, only knowing the reality she's told through Calanthe, Mousesack, and others in the castle. Now she learns some difficult truths about the world around her, and it leaves her questioning a lot about what she's been told throughout her life. Number 4. Yennefer can't bear a child of her own. As you heard in episode 3, the sacrifice Yennefer makes to be reborn during her transformational enchantment removes her ability to bear children. This seems pretty obvious when the enchanter actually removes what looks like her reproductive organs at the start of the process. At that time, the power and beauty she sought to gain was more important to her. Later, though, you'll see how Yennefer copes with the reality of not being able to have a child of her own. Number 5. Revisiting the Quartet Sentra. I don't want to spoil any of your enjoyment of Geralt's storyline in episode 4, but keep an eye out for some familiar faces from episode 1 when he attends an event at the Quartet Sentra. Number 6. The Law of Surprise. In the Witcher universe, the law of surprise is a custom that states that any man who is saved by another is obligated to offer his savior a reward of something that is unknown to them both at that moment. When the savior evokes the law, he provides a conditional statement. The common statements we know to be associated with the law are the first thing you find at home but didn't expect, or the first thing that comes to greet you. A related theme is that destiny links that reward with the Savior who evoked the law of surprise. Men seem to have a heavy reverence for that link of destiny. A repeated theme in the Witcher stories is that the surprise reward is a child that the man's wife is pregnant with when he returns home, but it could be anything. Number 7. Yennefer's time jump. Yennefer doesn't seem to age between Episode 3 and Episode 4, but actually quite some time has gone by. Listen for the clues in her story to learn just how much time has passed, and how much closer she is to Geralt's part of the timeline. Number 8. Kaer Morin. During Geralt's story, another character asks him why there are so few Witchers left. In response, he speaks of Kaer Morin. Kaer Morin is an old fortress where Witchers train and undergo their ultimate mutations. It is far more to the Witchers than what Banard or Aretuza are to the sorcerers. Kaer Morin was a home to boys who started their training from a very young age. It was also a central point from which the Witchers could operate as an organization. That's all you need to know for Episode 4, but fans expect the show to cover Kaer Morin a lot more in future seasons.
That's it. I think you're ready for Episode 4. Check it out and let me know if my video was helpful for you. Also, subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get a notice when I post my next video preparing you for Episode 5, Bottled Appetites.